and I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Yo, what it do? It's your boys Juice and Lou, and we back here with another episode for y'all. We're back here. We got a good one still on the basketball talks. We're gonna talk about the Nets right now. They're a little bit of a losing streak, 4 games, and Kyrie Irving had something interesting to say last night. So Jay Lou, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you dive into it. So let's get it.
Today, we're talking about Brooklyn and their quest to title this year. But all title teams got to go through a tough patch, come through adversity, and the Nets looking like it's their time. Kyrie, he had 45 last night in the loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Shot really well, actually, 54% from the field. And Kyrie's having a good season, really good season this year when he's actually playing. But in the loss, he said, it's about time someone has tested us. And, of course, he added on to that saying, like, the teams, there's going to be nights where bad teams beat you and good teams stand up, of course, when they're on the road, because they're on the road for the past 3 games, also on the losing streak. So, of course, players are going to get up when they're playing in front of their fans, even though there's only a little bit amount. But like Kyrie was saying, he says this is the first time the team's been tested. Now, there's also news on James Harden. He claims he will be back before the playoffs start. So that's a good sign. Yeah. And the Nets are actually 27-7 when he's playing. And they have 23 losses right now. So they've lost, what's the math, 16 without him. And, of course, he wasn't on the team previously. So pretty much. But that's besides the point about James Harden. So the Nets, talking about the last 4 games. And do you feel like you should be worried if you're Brooklyn?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they need to be worried because it's like your scores are going to score, but what else? What else after that? And this was what everybody was saying beforehand. If the Nets can score, their big 3 can score. So after they score, they each get 30 apiece. What else after that? Because that's only 60 points. What else? Who's going to show up? Jeff Green? Joe Harris? Who's going to show up? Spencer Dinwiddie? Is he back yet? No, this Nets team should be worried. This Nets team should be worried for sure. It's just like I don't want to say they're figured out because James Harden isn't there and we're not like fully accustomed to seeing Harden, Kyrie, and KD play together. Because I think they've only played like 3 games like as a trio together. I think it was only like 3 games. So I haven't even played a lot. So we just have to see how they play all together, and stuff like that. We know James Harden's the point guard and stuff, and Kyrie is, I guess they're moving around and stuff. But we're going to see how it goes. But as of right now, it's not looking good for them at all. At all. So I don't know what it is. It's the defense. Defense. What's the scores? What were the scores of all the games of the last 4 games?
Pull that up, I guess. I know last night they lost 113-109. Then 2 nights in a row they played the Bucks. 1 loss, they lost 124-118. And then another loss was 117-114. KD missed a fadeaway 3 to go to overtime in that game. And then the loss to the Trailblazers, they lost 109-128. But KD wasn't there for that one. So, yeah.
You see how many points they're giving up? That's crazy. Out of those 3 games, they give up 120-plus points. That's crazy. Like, that just proves to show that offense is everything, but defense is non-existent. You can say that for a lot of teams though, because I think the other night it was like 145 to 144 with the Pacers and the Wizards. It was something crazy like that. That was no defense at all. But still, it's just like everybody has high expectations for this team to be dominant for years to come. But if they can't play defense, if they can't guard anybody to save their life, each of them can drop 30. But that, like I said, that's only 60 points. Where's everybody else going to be? And today's game is fast paced. It's faster now. Like, so it's like people can get to 60 points and a half. People get to 60 points and a half. So each of the stars, they get theirs. All you got to do is shut down if you shut down everybody around them, you're good. They're all gonna get theirs. Just make sure the rest of them don't show up. That's it. That's it, really.
Okay.
But like I said, we gotta wait for James Harden. James Harden, he did say he's gonna be back. We gotta see how they play together. That's really.
Okay. So yeah, they do play the Nuggets next tomorrow, and no, Jokic's probably my MVP front runner right now, and that's gonna be interesting how they play against him because they don't really have a solid big man right now. I guess DeAndre Jordan. I mean, not really good anymore though.
He's not guarding the perimeter. Nah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting how they play against the Nuggets. Even though I don't think the Nuggets gonna come out the West, so it doesn't really matter. But to your point, I disagree with you, honestly. I don't think the Nets should be worried necessarily just because they have KD and Kyrie who's showstoppers. I mean, they can ball out every night. I mean, Kyrie literally just dropped 45. KD's averaging 29 this year. Kyrie's averaging 27. So like you said, they are getting their numbers. Now, the defensive side of the ball always been an issue for the Nets since the start because after losing Jared Allen, of course, and other role players like Karis LeVert, their defense has taken a fall. But I think the Nets don't really worry about it because, like I said, their offense is historically great. And I said in previous videos, they could be one of the greatest teams if they win a ring this year. And they don't even have Spencer Dinwiddie, another person who's very valuable to this team. He's hurt for the year. So, like I've been saying about the Nets this year, their defense isn't going to be that good, regardless of who's playing for them this season. They just don't have it in them. I know they try to pick up like Roberson and Iman Shumpert during the season, but they're not going to give you big minutes in the playoffs anyways. So, and like you were talking about today's game, the pace is so much faster. I mean, who there's really not that many great defensive teams. I can point to like the Knicks are successful because of their defense this year. I'll give them that. The Bucks, I mean, they have good, solid defense. They have a good strategy. Sixers, I guess, they got Ben Simmons and Embiid, so they're a good defensive team. Out of those three teams and the Clippers, out of those four teams, I mean, the rest of the league's not that talented defensively. I mean, the Lakers have their ups and downs, but they've been hurt all year. And AD actually just got hurt last night.
Miami?
I mean, y'all play solid team defense. I wouldn't call it elite right now, but y'all last year for sure in the bubble, y'all played great defense, of course, to get there to the finals last year. But back to the four teams I named, those are like the real elite defensive teams. And three of them are in the Eastern Conference. Oh yeah, I forgot the Jazz too. So three of them are in the Eastern Conference, but I don't think the Knicks will be a threat to the Nets in the playoffs. The Bucks and Sixers are a threat because, of course, they got Giannis, who just won 2 MVPs in a row and the Defensive Player of the Year. And Joel Embiid, if he's healthy, of course, is going to be a monster for the Sixers with Ben Simmons on the court. He's always a mismatch, but Ben Simmons is not aggressive on offense like how the net superstars are aggressive. So they
Yeah.
cancel out whatever Ben Simmons tries to do because he's just a playmaker in that offense. So the Sixers have a lot of questions on offense, besides Embiid at least. But like I said, their defense is really good when they're all healthy. I just don't think the Nets should be worried about any team in the Eastern Conference when they're healthy. Because James Harden is people saying James Harden, this is probably his best year playing for the Brooklyn Nets. And I can see why. Because he's actually
Facilitating wise.
his play style is better too. He's not 5-outing like in Houston a lot. He's doing a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of movement in the offense when he has the ball as well this year. So the Nets, like I said all year, they are the favorites to win, and I don't think they should be worried.
I mean, like to bring back to your point, he was like, "Oh, Kyrie just dropped 45, and he's averaging 27. KD's averaging 29. Like that's the point, though. They're going to get theirs, but they're still losing. That's going to be a problem at some point.
This is their only losing streak of the season.
But KD just dropped like 42 against Giannis. Still lost.
Yeah.
Still lost.
I'm saying it won't really matter come playoff time, in my opinion. Because we know the Bucks. We know how good the Bucks are in the regular season.
It's just like you can't. It's more than just outscoring your opponent to win the game. It's more than that. It's just more than that. But hey, that's all I gotta say. You got any more points to make?
No, Nets in 5.
Okay. Yeah. But that's gonna wrap up this episode, y'all. Thank you guys for the usual. Go ahead, keep on liking, subscribe, share to everybody. Comment down below what you guys think about the Nets and their losing streak. Are they doing it on purpose? I don't know. We're going to have to see. Maybe
Losing
they
on
are.
purpose.
Yeah. But hey, we're going until the next episode tomorrow. It's your boys Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace.
Yo, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you know when we post next. All right, peace.